Good evening, and welcome to tonight's nightmare. Tonight's nightmare is a continuation of This Is Friday's My Daughter Has Changed Since Her Vacation. Last night, Detective Wade parked his car down the street from my house. Through his binoculars, he had a view of Sarah's room through her window. I was nervous. Going behind Sarah's back to again betray her trust made me feel dirty, but clearly she was not willing to cooperate and tell me about what happened. So, desperate times do indeed call for desperate measures. I just wish none of this had ever happened, especially now that I know the truth. The truth about this man. It was around 10 o'clock when Sarah went to bed. We'd finished Iron Fist before she went upstairs. Show was alright, I guess. It wasn't as good as what came before it, but I guess I enjoyed it. Enough about that. Wade began texting me soon after Sarah had gone to her room. I was now in mine and laying in bed, but I had no intentions of going to sleep. I didn't know if Wade found anything, and I couldn't wait until morning. 10:06 p.m. Okay, Sarah's pacing in her room, seems uneasy. 10:10 p.m. She's looking at her scars. Damn, man. I didn't know there were that many. I'm so sorry. 10:12 p.m. That symbol you described to me. At this point I replied with go on. Bastard had to pause for effect. 10:13 p.m. It's branded on her back. I nearly threw up in my mouth at the thought of it. Who had done this to my little girl? She did not deserve this. She's never been perfect, but she's always been a good person. What drove her to this? I wanted to march into her room immediately and hold her tight and tell her I loved her and that it would all be fine. But it wasn't the move I needed to make. I had to let this play out. I had to know if someone else was in the house. We needed proof of him doing something to harm or with the intent to harm. 10:25 p.m. She's got the binder. She's writing something. 10:31 p.m. She's scribbling it all out now. 10:32 p.m. Shaking her head, holding her eyes, sobbing. 10:34 p.m. Looks like she has the knife you told me about. She's stabbing a picture. Can't see it from this angle. 10:36 p.m. Damn, she just cut herself. Blood is dripping on the binder. My heart was racing. I wanted to stop her, but I remained in bed. I was crying now too. This is becoming too much. 10:39. Dude, she just walked to the window. She's looking at me. Fuck. Our cover may have been blown, but how'd she know he was there? 10:40. The picture she just stabbed. She's holding it up. Fuck, it's a picture of me. Waited for an update, but nothing came. Eventually I asked him what had happened. My phone rang. It was from Wade. I figured he must have needed to explain one with words. I answered. Hello? Silence. Wade? Wade, what's going on? I had a terrible feeling in the pit of my stomach. I could feel my heart going even faster. Suddenly, I heard it. The laugh. It started slow and quiet, but its pace increased and it got louder and louder. Finally, I hung up and dashed for my door. I had to go check on Wade, but as soon as I flung my bedroom door open, I stumbled backwards out of shock. Sarah was standing on the other side, knife in hand. Wade didn't have to die, Daddy. She started walking towards me, but not at a regular pace. Slowly, she moved one foot ahead of the other. She was barely covering any ground. He wanted to hurt him, but no one hurts him without consequences. I stumbled to the ground. Sarah's eyes were red from all the crying, and the dark circles underneath them was a reminder of how tired she was. Her face was emotionless. I was scared of my own daughter, my little princess. Someone, or maybe something, had taken her innocent soul and broke her. Now she was closing in on me with a deadly weapon. I was in shock, too frightened to move. She got close and knelt down in front of me, never breaking eye contact. You want to hurt him, Daddy. There has to be consequences. He said so. I pleaded with Sarah. Please, don't let this man do this to you. You're strong, so strong. I know he said he was going to kill me, But no one is going to kill me. Not him and not you. He can't hurt you if I protect you. And I'll protect you from him no matter what. More tears flowed from her eyes. Then why didn't you? Those were the last words I ever heard Sarah say. The consequences? Not my death. That would have been easy. He had to take away the thing I loved most. I don't know how he convinced her to do it. Maybe she was under his control somehow. I'm not sure. Perhaps she was just broken inside and failed her as her father, and was unable to heal her tortured soul. I don't know. But I do know that she slit her own throat wide open, and I sat in a pool of her blood for what felt like ages. When I eventually managed to move again, I kissed Sarah's forehead and called 911. I would have bet money they assumed me to have killed her, and I did have to go to the station for questioning. But they said it looked rather clear that it was self-inflicted. Seeing her self-harm scars on her arm may have helped convince them. I had matters to attend to regarding Sarah. There were people to call, but I was so lost. I sat on a bench outside of the station for hours until the sun came up, completely oblivious to the world around me. I'd forgotten all about Wade. As it turns out, they found him dead in his car. No wounds, no signs of a struggle. It felt familiar. It reminded me of my late wife. How she had seemed to just die out of nowhere, with no explanation. But I know that there is an explanation for Wade's death. He was murdered. And if the circumstances are the same as they were before, maybe Sarah was murdered too. Maybe by the same man who killed Wade and corrupted my daughter's heart. Playtime was over. I didn't want to engage in some stupid game with this guy. I wanted all the cards on the table. I went home. I went to Sarah's room, and I screamed, "Who are you, huh? Where are you, you son of a bitch? Show yourself! Don't be a coward! Show your fucking face!" The neighbors may have heard me screaming, but I don't care. This had to end. Then his voice surrounded me. 2 down, 1 to go. How long will I let you live? His voice was deep and terrifying. He spoke slowly, seemingly putting emphasis on every part of the pronunciation. 2 down, 1 to go. How long will I let you live? His voice was deep and terrifying. He spoke slowly, seemingly putting emphasis on every part of the pronunciation. I tore Sarah's room apart trying to find him. The whole time he was laughing maniacally. He knew I was a fool. He knew I couldn't find him. He wasn't there. When it was all said and done, I was on my knees in the middle of the room, crying over my failures. It began with you. It must end with you. Between my constant sobbing, I managed to slip out a few words. Please, just tell me where you are. He laughed again. Then it was quiet, as if the whole world had been silenced. I looked around, thinking he'd reveal himself from some secret passageway. I know it was stupid, but I never expected him to reveal himself the way he did. I stood up and walked over to Sarah's mirror, and in the mirror I saw him, staring back at me as he had for my entire life, his eyes staring deeply into mine, and mine deeply into his.